Men, listen up. You feel it, don't you? That fire burning inside you, that unshakable rage, that relentless hunger for more. They told you to suppress it. They told you to calm down. They told you to be polite, be gentle, be safe. But here's the truth. They lied to you. You were not born to be tamed. You were not put on this earth to be weak, to be passive, to be soft. You were born to conquer. And yet, look around you. How many men do you see wasting their lives in silence? How many are afraid to stand up, afraid to fight, afraid to embrace their own power? Too many. Because the system wants you broken. They want you apologizing for your strength. They want you doubting yourself. They want you on your knees, begging for permission to exist. But you are different because you refuse to be neutered. You refuse to be a prisoner of weakness. You refuse to bow to a world that fears real men. So today, this moment, right here, I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to drag you out of your comfort zone, shake you awake, and show you the monster you were always meant to be. Because if you don't embrace it, someone else will. And that man will take everything from you. So tell me, are you ready to reclaim your power? Are you ready to break your chains? Are you ready to rise like a warrior? Because this isn't just a speech, this is war. And by the time I'm done with you, you will never apologize for the monster inside you again. Let's begin. Part 1. The lie you were sold. Listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. If you're a man in America today, you've been lied to your entire life. Lied to about who you should be, what you should value, and worst of all, what you should feel ashamed of. They want you weak, obedient, and apologetic. They want you to believe that the fire burning inside you is a problem, not a gift. But here's the truth. Strength isn't toxic. Power isn't evil. Dominance isn't something to be ashamed of. And if that truth makes you uncomfortable, you're not ready for this speech. But if you've ever felt like something in this world doesn't make sense, like the rules were rigged against you, then you need to click the links in the description right now. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you see everything. Don't wait. Go check them now. Now let's begin. The myth of the good man. From the moment you were a boy, they told you, be nice, be polite, be a good man. They taught you that strength is only acceptable if it serves others. They told you that anger is bad, aggression is bad, ambition is bad, unless of course you're using it to make someone else rich, happy, or comfortable. What did they give you in return? Respect? Power? A life worth living? Number they gave you participation trophies, student debt, and a world where you can lose your job because of something you tweeted a decade ago. They gave you a society where men are disposable, but the moment you fight back, you're the monster. They told you to be a provider, then laughed when you got replaced. They told you to be loyal, then abandoned you when they got bored. They told you to be strong, then punished you the moment you used that strength. And here's the sickest part. Most of you still believe it. You still try to be the good guy in a system that hates you. You still think if you work hard, stay humble, and play by the rules, you'll earn respect. You won't. Because here's the truth. They don't respect you. They never did. Why being a monster is the only way out. If the world has no use for a good man, then what's left? A monster. And if you're already going to be called a monster, then you better make damn sure you're the most dangerous one in the room. But let's be clear. I'm not talking about violence. I'm not telling you to lash out like some weak man who can't control himself. No, I'm talking about becoming the kind of monster that commands respect without ever needing to ask for it. A monster is not a criminal. A monster is not a thug. A monster is not some mindless brute. A monster is a man who refuses to apologize for being strong. A monster is a man who is ruthlessly disciplined and brutally effective in every area of life. A monster is a man who does not bow, does not break, and does not beg for approval. If you want to be that man, you need to do 3 things. 1. Destroy the idea that being a good man will save you. 2. Embrace the fact that you are on your own. No one is coming to rescue you. 3. Unleash the fire that society told you to suppress. Because the moment you stop apologizing for the monster inside you is the moment you become unstoppable. The betrayal of modern masculinity. Let's talk about the biggest scam in modern history. This fake version of masculinity that's been sold to you like a defective product. They told you to be kind, so you were. But now they call you weak. They told you to be open about your feelings, so you were. But now they call you pathetic. They told you to be a gentleman, so you were. But now they laugh at you while they chase after men who don't even know their names. Are you starting to see the pattern? Every time you do exactly what they tell you, you lose. Why? Because the real world does not reward good behavior. It rewards power. It rewards the man who takes what he wants without waiting for permission. History is written by the men who refused to be tamed. Julius Caesar didn't ask for power. He took it. Genghis Khan didn't beg for land. He conquered it. Andrew Carnegie didn't whine about wealth. He built an empire. And before you say, "That's not fair, the world shouldn't be like that," shut up. It doesn't matter how you think the world should be. It only matters how it is. And the reality is this: if you are not feared, you are ignored. If you are not powerful, you are nothing. That is the law of the jungle. That is the law of history. And that is the law you must follow if you ever want to break free from this modern prison of weakness. Stop asking for permission. Here's a hard pill to swallow. No one is coming to save you. No government, no family, no woman, no friend. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll finally start living. You were not put on this earth to be liked. You were put here to conquer. You were not made to apologize. You were made to dominate. You were not created to serve. You were born to lead. And the first step? Stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. No one believes in you until you win. Stop waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a lie. Act first and the confidence will come later. This is your wake-up call. This is your warning shot. If you do not change, if you do not let go of the weak, obedient, broken version of yourself, you will die as another faceless, forgotten man. And you will have no one to blame but yourself. Part 2. The Rise of the Monster. The Death of the Old You. Most men will never make it to this stage. They will hear the truth and reject it. They will cling to their excuses, their weaknesses, their illusions of safety, but not you. If you're still here, that means something inside you is stirring. A hunger, a fire, a voice that says, "I refuse to be weak. I refuse to be forgotten. I refuse to apologize." Good, because to become something greater, you must first kill what you were before. This is where most men fail. They want to change, but they refuse to sacrifice the comfort of their old self. You cannot hold on to weakness and expect to be strong. You cannot cling to safety and expect to become dangerous. You cannot beg for approval and expect to be respected. The old you must die. The insecure, hesitant, approval-seeking version of yourself. Dead. The apologetic, soft, submissive version of yourself. Dead. The nice guy who waits his turn, follows the rules and hopes life will reward him. Fucking dead. And in his place, a monster is born, not a reckless, blind animal, but a focused, disciplined, unstoppable force. This is the turning point. Either you rise, or you fade into nothing. Let me tell you how you make that choice. Rule 1. Become a controlled monster. There are two types of men in this world. Men who suppress their power until it destroys them. Men who harness their power until it controls everything around them. Which one do you think wins? Most men have been trained to suppress their instincts, to be passive, to bottle up their frustration, their ambition, their aggression. They think it makes them civilized. But do you know what happens to a man who never unleashes his power? He self-destructs. He drinks himself numb. He watches porn and wastes his strength. He drowns in depression, anxiety, self-loathing. He lets people walk all over him until one day he snaps. He doesn't explode like a warrior. He implodes like a coward. But the man who learns to control his power, he is the one who dominates. He moves with calculated aggression. He speaks with deliberate authority. He fights only when necessary, but when he does, he doesn't lose. That's the difference. That's the choice. Either your power controls you, or you control your power. If you want to win in life, in business, in relationships, in war, you must become a controlled monster. And that starts with one thing: discipline. Rule 2. Discipline over everything. Weak men live their lives based on how they feel. They wake up tired, so they hit snooze. They feel stressed, so they eat junk food. They feel unmotivated, so they skip the gym. Do you know what a real man does? He does what needs to be done, whether he feels like it or not. That is the definition of power. That is the foundation of all success. Because let me tell you something no one wants to admit. Your feelings do not matter. Your actions are the only thing that define you. Your results are the only thing the world respects. Your ability to impose your will on reality is the only thing that separates winners from losers. You think Genghis Khan cared about being tired. You think Alexander the Great waited until he felt ready to conquer Persia. You think the most powerful men in history let their moods decide their fate? Fuck no. They woke up and attacked life, no matter what. And that's exactly what you need to do. Wake up early. Train your body like a warrior. Work harder than everyone else. Develop unshakable mental resilience. Make power moves, even when you don't feel like it. This is not optional. This is war. And if you don't build iron discipline, you will lose. Rule 3. Never apologize for your strength. Society hates strong men. Do you know why? Because strong men don't obey. They do not fall in line. They do not bow to weak authority. A strong man doesn't apologize for being confident. A strong man doesn't apologize for wanting power. A strong man doesn't apologize for winning. But weak men, they bend the knee. They apologize for being men, and that's exactly why women don't respect them. Let me tell you a hard truth. No woman on this planet wants a man she can control. She might say she does. She might tell you she wants a nice guy who respects her emotions. She might even believe it. But when she meets a man who stands firm, who never apologizes for his strength, who moves through the world with ruthless confidence, she will abandon that weak, obedient fool in a second. Because deep down, women want what they fear losing. They do not respect the man who bows. They do not respect the man who grovels. They do not respect the man who apologizes. They respect the monster who has complete control over his own power. Rule 4. Destroy your enemies without mercy. Let's get something straight. There are people who want to see you fail. There are people who will smile to your face while praying for your downfall. There are people who will try to tear you down the moment you start rising. Weak men ignore their enemies. Strong men crush them completely. If someone tries to take what's yours, destroy them. If someone crosses you, make sure they regret it. If someone dares to stand in your way, leave no doubt who the real king is. This is not about petty revenge. This is about war strategy. Because the moment your enemies think you are weak, they will attack. And if you give them mercy, they will use it to finish you later. Never let that happen. Make one thing clear to the world. You are not to be fucked with. The monster has risen. We started this speech with one question. Why should I apologize for the monster I have become? Now you understand the answer. You shouldn't. You never should have. And you never will again. This world does not belong to the weak. It does not reward the obedient. It does not respect the man who apologizes for his strength. This world belongs to the men who take it. And if you have made it this far, if you have felt the fire inside you ignite, then you already know what needs to be done. Rise, conquer, dominate, and never fucking apologize again. Part 3. Unchaining the beast, embracing the monster within. Why men were born to dominate. Let's cut the bullshit. Men were never designed to be passive, obedient, or fragile. Men were built for war. Our bones are thicker. Our muscles are stronger. Our minds are wired for strategy, aggression, and dominance. Yet modern society tells you to sit down, shut up, and suppress your nature. They want you to be harmless. They want you to be soft. They want you to be a nice guy who never makes anyone uncomfortable. Let me tell you what happens to harmless men. They get destroyed. Women don't want them. Bosses don't respect them. The world ignores them. And worst of all, they hate themselves. A man who refuses to embrace his power, aggression, and natural dominance will live in misery until the day he dies. Because deep down, he knows he was meant for more. Rule 5. Embrace the violence within you. The difference between a winner and a loser in life comes down to one thing: the ability to be violent when necessary. That doesn't mean being reckless, stupid, or hurting innocent people. It means knowing that when the moment comes, when it's kill or be killed, win or lose, rise or fall, you will do what needs to be done. Think about every great man in history. Were they peaceful? Were they passive? Did they avoid conflict? Number, they were monsters in human form. Theodore Roosevelt, a warrior, a leader, a man who built himself into an unstoppable force through sheer willpower. Napoleon Bonaparte, a conqueror who bent reality to his will and reshaped the world. Andrew Jackson, a president who literally fought duels to defend his honor. Men like these did not apologize for their strength. They understood something modern men have forgotten. The world only respects the strong. Weak men pray for peace. Strong men enforce it through power. If you're too soft, too hesitant, too scared to unleash the beast inside you, you will lose every battle you face. But if you train yourself to be dangerous, if you embrace your ability to be violent, disciplined, and strategic, you will never be a victim again. Rule 6. Lose everything and keep moving forward. Most men are terrified of losing. They're terrified of failure. They're terrified of embarrassment. They're terrified of rejection. Do you know who never wins in life? The men who are afraid to lose. Every great man has lost everything at some point. Mike Tyson, broke, beaten down, laughed at, but he came back. Elon Musk, almost bankrupt, business on the verge of collapse. But he kept going. Ulysses S. Grant, a drunk, a failure, dismissed from the military until he led the Union Army to victory and became president. You must learn to lose without fear, because the moment you stop fearing loss, you become invincible. A man who isn't afraid to lose is a man who cannot be controlled. Your woman threatens to leave you? Let her go. Your boss threatens to fire you? Find another way to win. The world turns against you. Stand your ground and never fucking bend. Weak men crumble when things get hard. Strong men walk through fire and emerge harder than steel. And that's exactly what you must do. Rule 7. Stop giving a fuck what people think. Let me tell you something that will set you free. Nobody's opinion matters except your own. Not your parents, not your co-workers, not your so-called friends. You think Genghis Khan cared if people liked him? You think Steve Jobs was concerned about offending weak men? Number they imposed their will on the world, and that's exactly what you need to do. Stop explaining yourself. Stop seeking approval. Stop apologizing for being who you are. Live by your own code. Because the moment you stop giving a fuck about what people think, you become unstoppable. And guess what? The same people who doubted you, mocked you, or tried to hold you down, they'll come crawling back when they see you winning. But by then, it will be too late. Because the new you doesn't need them anymore. Rule 8. If you're not winning, you're dying. Most men are comfortable with average. They settle for a mediocre job, a mediocre body, a mediocre life, and then they wonder why they feel empty. You were not born to be average. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to live and die in obscurity. You were born to win. And if you're not winning every single day, if you're not growing, conquering, achieving, then you are slowly dying. Look at your life right now. Are you dominating in your career? Are you in peak physical condition? Are you building wealth, power, and influence? If the answer is no, then guess what? You're losing. And every day you waste is a day you will never get back. This is why you must attack life with urgency. If you don't have power, get it. If you don't have discipline, build it. If you don't have respect, demand it. Because the alternative is dying as an invisible nobody. And that is unacceptable. The beast is unchained by now. You understand something most men never will. There's nothing wrong with the monster inside you. In fact, that monster is the only thing that will save you. The world doesn't care about excuses. The world doesn't care about weakness. The world doesn't care about your feelings. The world respects one thing: power. And if you have made it this far, if you are still listening, then you are ready to take that power and unleash it on the world. Stop apologizing. Stop hesitating. Stop being afraid. Unleash the beast. Dominate your life. Become the man you were always meant to be. And never fucking apologize again. Part 4. Never apologize. Never surrender. Never die the war against you. Listen to me. Right now, at this very moment, there is a war being waged against you. It's not fought with bullets or bombs. It's fought with lies, manipulation, and psychological warfare. They don't need to beat you in a battlefield anymore. They weaken you from the inside. They fill your mind with guilt. They strip you of your confidence. They make you question your own worth. You were born to be strong, but they tell you strength is toxic. You were born to be bold, but they tell you boldness is offensive. You were born to be a leader, but they tell you leadership is oppressive. They want you neutered. They want you weak. They want you apologizing for who you are. But here's what they don't understand. Real men do not apologize for being strong. They do not apologize for their ambition. They do not apologize for their aggression. They do not apologize for their hunger for dominance. Because without strong men, civilizations collapse. Without strong men, the world burns. And if you let them break you, if you let them convince you that being a beast, a monster, a warrior is wrong, then you will live and die as a coward. And that is not an option. Rule 9. Crush your enemies without mercy. Let's talk about competition. You've been lied to. They tell you everyone can win. They tell you life is about cooperation. They tell you be nice to your competitors. Bullshit. In life, there are winners and there are losers. And if you're not winning, you're the one being crushed. This isn't a game of participation trophies. This is war. And in war, there is no second place. You either dominate your industry or you get replaced. You either lead or you follow. You either win or you become a forgotten statistic. This means no hesitation. If someone stands in the way of your goals, move them, outwork them, or bury them. If your competition is weak, crush them. If your enemy shows weakness, exploit it. If they hesitate, take everything they have. This is how real men build empires. Rule 10. Destroy your addictions. Become a machine. What's the number one thing keeping you weak? Your addictions. You're addicted to comfort. You're addicted to distraction. You're addicted to weakness. And as long as you stay chained to your vices, you will never rise. You want to win. You want to be unstoppable. Then destroy your addictions before they destroy you. Get off social media. Stop scrolling like a brain-dead sheep. Stop drowning yourself in porn, junk food, and entertainment. Stop running from pain. Learn to love it. Replace weakness with discipline. Wake up before the world. Train your body like a warrior. Sharpen your mind like a weapon. Because while other men waste their time, you will be building your empire. And when the weak ones finally wake up, it will be too late. You will already be too far ahead for them to catch you. Rule 11. Women do not respect weak men. Let's talk about women. Society will tell you that if you're nice, respectful, and accommodating, women will love you. Lies. Women do not respect weak men. Women do not desire men who beg for approval. Women do not want a man who needs them. You know what truly attracts women? Power. A man who moves through the world like a king. A man who doesn't need validation from anyone. A man who chooses his woman, but does not chase her like a desperate boy. If you want to dominate in your relationships, stop trying to impress her. Build yourself first. Make her chase you. If she disrespects you, walk away. A woman will never truly love a man she does not fear losing. And that's why the powerful man always wins, because he is willing to walk away and never look back. Rule 12. Die standing like a king, not crawling like a slave. There is only one inevitable reality in life: death. You will die. The question is, how will you face it? Will you die a broken man, filled with regret, apologizing for the life you wasted? Or will you die as a legend, a warrior, a man who took what he wanted and never looked back? Your time is running out. Every second you waste, you'll never get it back. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for the world to accept you. The world will never give you anything. So take it. Take the power. Take the money. Take the respect. And never apologize for it. Because if you don't, some other man will. The final message: no more apologies. You've been through 4 parts. You've heard the truth that no one else will tell you. And now you have a choice. Ignore this message and stay the same, weak, forgotten, powerless. Or embrace the monster within you and take everything that is yours. The choice is yours. But whatever you do, never apologize again. Never apologize for your ambition. Never apologize for your hunger. Never apologize for being the man the world fears. Because at the end of the day, the world only respects one thing: power. Final words: die like a king, not a slave. The message is clear. The time for excuses is over. You know now what they've tried to hide from you your entire life. No one is coming to save you. No one will hand you power. No one gives a damn about your struggles. So what the hell are you waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? Are you waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to be strong? Are you waiting for the world to hand you your destiny on a silver platter? Because if that's the case, you might as well lay down and die right now. But if you've made it this far, if you've heard every word I've said and felt the fire in your blood, then you know what comes next. No more apologies. Never apologize for your ambition. Never apologize for your strength. Never apologize for your hunger to win, because the second you do, you've already lost. And I'll tell you one last truth before I go. The world does not respect the weak. The world does not remember the men who played it safe. The world only respects one thing: power. And if you don't take it, some other man will. So tell me, are you ready to seize what's yours? Are you ready to build your empire? Are you ready to burn your excuses to the ground? Are you ready to embrace the monster inside you and take what you were born to claim? Because this is it. This is the moment that separates legends from losers. And if you choose to hesitate, if you choose to stay the same weak version of yourself, then remember this: nobody will remember your name. Nobody will cry at your funeral. Nobody will give a damn that you existed. But if you rise, if you take this fire and turn it into something unstoppable, then the world will never forget you. So make your choice. Live like a sheep, die like a slave, or rise like a king and take your throne. No more apologies, no more waiting, no more weakness, because real men, they take what's theirs, or they die trying. Your move.